Good morning, students. In the next part, we are going to start about the wildlife and its conservation. So, in this topic, we will be discussing first what do we mean by wildlife, how they are important to us, and how this wildlife population is declining gradually. And the next part, we will be discussing the aims of wildlife management and what are the different organizations are involved in wildlife conservation. So these are the four things we will be discussing in this topic. So first one is, what do you mean by wildlife? Wildlife refers to the undomesticated animals or different types of living organisms that are not domesticated by the human being. The human interference is not there. They are staying in their natural habitat. So wildlife refers to the undomesticated animals living in their natural habitat, maybe in the forest, maybe in the grassland or in the deserts also. An area without human habitation. Human being is not living in the nearby areas. They are needed for maintaining. What is the importance of maintaining them? First point is they are needed for maintaining ecological diversity. It also helps in promoting economic activities that generates revenue through tourism. If the wildlife richness, enrichment of wildlife is there in the country, the tourism also will be developing for. So country can earn lot of money. So there are 2 points are there. And third point, conservation of forest and wildlife is interrelated with each other. If we maintain the wildlife, simultaneously we have to maintain the forest cover also. So these are the importance of wildlife. Now next part, decline in wildlife population. Wildlife of India is a great natural heritage from the long before time India is having the enrichment of wildlife. Exploitation of wildlife. Exploitation is nothing but using the wildlife resources has decreased global wildlife population. Whenever human being is using wildlife more and more, so the population of wildlife is decreasing by 52% between 1970 to 2014. In this area, in this period of time, the 52% of the wildlife population has been decreased due to the exploitation of wildlife by human beings. Over exploitation and shrinking of forest cover areas are resulted in animals becoming extinct. Some are threatened and some are on the verge of extinction. In recent years, increase in human encroachment has posed a threat to the India's wildlife. As human being is encroaching or interfering in their habitat, that means forest cover, their living place is also gradually decreasing, so they are on the verge of extinction, or so many of them have extinct also. Now, aims of wildlife management. What are the aims of managing the wildlife? The main aim of wildlife conservation, first one, to control and limit exploitation of the species. We have to control our utilization of this wildlife or different plants and animals. To preserve the plants and animals from extinction, we have to preserve them, we have to protect them. Maintenance of threatened species and protect species which are on the verge of extinction, because they play an important role in ecological balance. Next point, preserve the endangered species. What do you mean by endangered species? Now, they are those who are on the verge of extinction, about to extinct, endangered species. To study the ecological relationship, because I told they play an important role in ecological balance. So if these plants and animals are staying together, interaction takes place with the non-living environment, then only ecological balance also to be maintained. To study the ecological relationship plants and animals in natural habitat. Hunting and poaching. Poaching means is nothing but when the people are using all these natural resources without the permission of government, it is called poaching. The illegal activities should be prohibited to be stopped. Establishment of natural parks, wildlife sanctuaries, protected areas, and biosphere reserves. By developing or by constructing all these areas, we can protect the wildlife successfully. So, these are the different ways of management of aims of management of wildlife. Now, Wildlife Protection Act also has been passed. That means laws have been passed by the government to protect the wildlife. Established in 1972, the provisions of this are importance that helps to stop killing and hunting of specified animals or particular animals. Constitute sanctuaries. National, just now I told all these sanctuaries, national parks, protected areas, biosphere reserves we have to establish to protect them successfully for our benefit. Special schemes for preservation of endangered species. Constitute central zoo authority and recognition of zoos. So the people will be, the animals will be protected. Human being cannot interfere in their life. Restrict, regulate or prohibit trade in natural wild animals and products obtained from them. Generally nowadays so many poaching cases are going on, suppose tusks of elephants, skin of leopard, so that it's highly source of income. So people will be killing all these animals as a source of income. So all these things can be stopped, can be prohibited. So restrict, regulate or prohibit trade in wild animals and products obtained from them. Now inside the box 1 mark question, which one is India's first national park? Jim Corbett National Park was the first to establish in 1936 in Uttarakhand, India. How many biosphere reserves are present in India? There are 15 biosphere reserves. Write an example of biosphere reserve in Tamil Nadu, that is Nilgiris. These are biosphere reserves. All these are for 1 mark question. Now next part we are going to discuss organizations. What are the names of the organizations involved in conservation of wildlife? IBWL, full form Indian Board for Wildlife. WWF, World Wildlife Fund for Nature. WCN, World, W for World, C for Conservation, U for Union. And fourth one, IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. Fifth one, Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species. CITES, Bombay Natural History Society. Wildlife Preservation Society in India, that is in Dehradun. The next part we are going to discuss about the soil erosion. Small part I will discuss them. Soil erosion. What do you mean by soil? Here also we have to discuss. Now the top layer of the soil contains humus and mineral salts which are vital for the growth of the plants. And when this soil will be removed, the earth's surface will be exposed and that area will become desert. So removal of upper layer of soil by wind and water is called soil erosion. So what do you mean by soil erosion? And what are the components are there in the soil? The top layer of soil contains humus, mineral salts which are vital for the growth of the plants. Soil erosion, what do you mean by that? Removal of upper layer of soil by wind and water is called soil erosion. Soil erosion causes a significant loss of humus, nutrients and decrease the fertility of the soil. So what is the effect of soil erosion? Now soil erosion causes a significant loss of humus, nutrients and decrease the fertility of the soil. Now next part we are going to discuss agents of soil. How does the soil erosion take place? Agents of soil erosion: high velocity of wind, air currents, flowing water, landslide, human activities. What are the human activities? Now, deforestation, farming and mining. And the last point is overgrazing by cattle. If a particular area, grassland is there and cattle animal is eating these grasses repeatedly, the grasses will die. So the uppermost soil will be exposed, and if the high speed wind or flow of water is also taking place, at that time soil erosion will be taking place, which is considered as the overgrazing by cattle. So these are the agents. Again 2 marks question, what are the agents for soil erosion? Okay, thank you children.